we have another Shiloh Hendrix in the house. This couple from Somalia walked into a Cinnabon to buy food. The employees started making fun of the woman's hijab, so they took out their phone and recorded. Then she calls them the N-word, admitted to being a racist, continued to say derogatory things. So first off, we gotta look at what's been feeding this. Here's where it starts, okay? We're having ugly racism rear its head in America again, thanks to Donald Trump. And this time it's around the Somalian people.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions. Every year, billions of dollars.
So first off, I'd like to pause it there because Somalians didn't rip off, Minnesota. Some crooks did, okay? Crooks ripped off Minnesota. The same way that his buddy Rick Scott ripped off Florida, okay? His buddy, the senator, Uncle Fester, that ugly bald fucker, Rick Scott. You see what I'm saying here? You see the racist shit? He's not talking about the crooks. He's talking about the country. Everybody from Somalia, it ripped off Minnesota to this guy.
And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Okay, so there we go. So he's projects the actions of a couple criminals that are just like his friend Rick Scott, but he applies that across all of Somalia, to all Somali people, to, personal attacks on the country, and that it's no good and nobody from there is any good and he doesn't want anyone from there in America, etc., right? His usual racist dog shit brutality and his talk about welfare, which is primarily white, poor white trash from red states, is the biggest welfare group. But so this, was, 5 days ago. Okay, 5 days ago. This was his thing, just filled with lies. Okay, now, what happened yesterday in Wisconsin? We have a Cinnabon worker. Her name is 𝗙𝗟𝗡 She does have a criminal record. Now, sometimes these can be super serious. Sometimes these charges are shit that happens during a custody battle. It can be a lot of different shit. So it's not always the craziest thing, but it is, though. Obviously, she's had a history of some level of irresponsibility. And now I'm going to point out, we're about to watch the clip of her at Cinnabon because this thing has become a political, neutron bomb where, again, she had a racist tirade against a couple Somali people. And then she got fired by Cinnabon. And then now she has a GoFundMe. And the same guy who set up Shiloh Hendrix, right? The woman who said the N-word, Shiloh Hendrix, she made $800,000. A guy named Tom Hennessy, a writer, set her GoFundMe up. Okay? He set hers up too. The minute she got fired, Tom Hennessy set up a GiveSendGo for her. So now we have one guy in the sort of MAGA movement that sets up GiveSendGos and starts the movement of creating money for these women who have racist tirades. So there's something going on here where now I think people have realized in the age of Trump, where the president is out there decrying black people and whatever else, we now have a culture where you can behave like the president and hit the cash register. Yeah, heavily incentivized. Here we go. Advance warning, trigger warning. I think we're going to hear a slur. All right, here we go.
That's I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are
You are
Dude,
idiot.
Jesus.
No,
I'm racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruin your life, by the way.
Oh, talking about
Bye.
you talking about respect? You talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you
Suck
fucking look
it.
like.
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking ugly bitch? Get the fuck out of my
Ugly?
face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
Okay. Jesus, dude. Yeah. Dude, like multiple N-words and then be respectful afterwards. And she did stutter, right? And the suck it. Now, here's the thing though, guys, is again, all of the right-wingers will say, what did these people do before the video? But again, guys, it doesn't matter what the people did before the video. Okay? It does not matter what the people did before the video. She's working at a fucking Cinnabon. Like, dude, just simply disengage. Don't say anything. Politely ask them to leave. Call the security and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? She's in a mall, right? You don't, nobody behaves like that. If I worked at the Doug Fur and I behave like that to a customer, they would throw me out and fire my ass in like 2 seconds, bro. So again, we have Somalian people getting, you know, the N-word dropped from this white woman, the white woman going to the evangelical-owned Christian Give, Send, Go that has a goal that is an anti-Semitic number from the ADL, and she's raised $50,000. There you go. So that is it. Something that white supremacists use, shorthand for a claim that Jews have been expelled from 109 different countries. And so I guess the presumption is the 110 is they want to get rid of them from their country. So again, of course it is. It's like a 1488. So there you go. So their whole Give, Send, Go is putting that kind of shit in there. And again, it was created by Tom Hennessy, and he, of course, he uses one of those Giga-Chad pictures, and I'm certain he gets a cut because he sets it up, but he also starts the PR campaign because this thing is already like in Hindustan Times and all those other, like the Economic Times of India or whatever. So what he does is he pimps it. He has the network of production and like he's the bridge to all the right-wing influencers. So she comes to him, he sets up the Give, Send, Go, he puts word out to those media, so it ends up in search results, and then it disseminates this to all the right-wing influencers. And then it becomes this cultural phenomenon. And now, you know, they are milking this shit. And they are, you know, part of, you know, launching more of like the Project 2025 nonsense. Okay? Dude, this is crazy. This is our reality. And now this is interesting because look at what it says. It says, meet Crystal, hardworking white mom doing her job. Yeah, thank you. We can see she's white. Okay? Hardworking white mom doing her job at Cinnabon. 2 Somali customers decide to make her shift hell with intimidation. But instead of banning the offenders and backing their employees, Cinnabon fires Crystal to keep the nons happy. But like, dude, if Crystal had simply kept her mouth shut and called security or contacted a manager and ignored these people, she would not have been fired, guys. Right? We're not letting this slide. No white person should lose their job for refusing to be harassed by Somalians. Look at the way this is written, guys. This is propaganda, direct to Trump propaganda. Like, guys, we have a serious, we have a serious replacement theory situation going on, guys, here in America that is like backed by the president of the United States. Okay? The president of the United States, his agenda is this. This give, send, go with the anti-Semitic numbers and the racist overtones, white people versus Somalia, giving donations to the racists to fund racism, to fund white replacement. This is literally our fucking government right now, guys. This is MAGA, okay? Yeah, this is MAGA. This is like outrageous, bro. And it's gonna get fucking crazier, bro. Jesus. Holy shnikes. But look at her look, dude. Look at the picture they use, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right? That picture right there, she doesn't look, they didn't use a picture that made her look like, oh, she's troubled, right? I mean, they are, of course they know what they're doing, right? She's not going to make out like Shiloh Hendrix is, okay? But they are absolutely like targeting this. This is part of a greater Project 2025 like anti-immigrant campaign. Okay? The thing is though, is that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the MAGA people. I know for us, we think those Somalians are their citizens, right? Or some of those Somalians have been born here, right? But they don't care. They're trying to get rid of birthright citizenship. They're trying to get rid of naturalization. They want remigration, guys. What we need to realize is this, is Trump, the goal from the beginning was never about getting rid of illegal immigrants. This has never been about undocumented people. This has been about what they want is they want complete remigration, which means everyone who is not white gets sent back to the country of their origin, whether they were born here or not. Like, they don't care if your family, if you and your grandparents and your great-grandparents were all born in America and you have birthright citizenship because your great-grandparents were born here 100 years ago. They want you gone. They want every person that is not a white American remigrated. If you were born in America and you're fourth generation, but your family history is Nigeria, they want to send you and all of your family to Nigeria, period. Even though you've never fucking been there, okay? This is their goal. This has always been their goal, okay? It's like the same with the transgender rights situation. They don't give a shit about women's sports. They want to eradicate transgender people. So saying men are in women's sports is just a methodology for them to get you activated to not be supportive of trans people enough that they can eradicate them and you won't mind, okay? That's what they're after. And they are after complete and total remigration. They've said it, dude. Like, my God, bro, this shit is bad, bro. They've literally said it. Okay? It's a week ago. Remigration. And guys, they're literally going to the Supreme Court right now trying to overturn birthright citizenship, which is a constitutional amendment. We could potentially be in a situation where the Supreme Court is going to overrule the U.S. Constitution, which if at that point, we gotta take the Supreme Court or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, those Supreme Court justices need to be in the clink, dude. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.